What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Career Mode. It's episode number 41. And we start today's episode off with a look at fixtures for September. 5 games coming this month, 4 in the Premier League, including both Manchester sides, the Red Devils at home and the champions away at the Etihad Stadium. And we've also got Watford and Norwich in the Premier League as well, plus Newcastle in the third round, the Carabao Cup. And also to start today's episode off, on the back of the big win against Brighton in the last game of the last episode, we send our scouts out. Yes, when we took over at Arsenal, right towards the back end of last season, I decided to give us the best scouting network possible, and I've sent my scouts out for 9-month missions. Now, we sent one out to England. You know, as I always say, I always send a scout out to the country we're managing in. We sent one out to France as well. Arsenal have a great history of fantastic French players. Thierry Henry, need I say any more, of course. But I also sent one out to Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast? Has anyone said it as Ivory Coast? Ivory Coast. I sent one out to Ivory Coast as well. I wanted to scout an African nation. And I was thinking, you know, Cameroon, Nigeria, Egypt, lots of great nations I could have scouted. But I decided to go with Ivory Coast. I was just thinking, Emmanuel Aboué, Gervinho. I love a great Ivorian in this Arsenal team once again. So our 3 scouts sent out for this season, 9-month missions they'll be going on, looking for any type of player from all 3 of those nations. You know, we haven't really had much luck with youth scouting so far in this series. Maybe now we're at a top team, things will change. Anyway, for the first game of today's episode here, we will take on the Red Devils. Manchester United coming to face us here at the Emirates Stadium. Fell behind very early on into the game as the Red Devils take the lead in the first half. Right before the break, they had a chance to get back on level terms. Oh my goodness gracious me, normally I'm lights out from one-on-ones, but every now and then do fluff my lines. Smith Rowe denied by David Hey. I put no power behind that shot whatsoever, as it was still 1-0 to the visitors. To be honest though, despite them taking the lead in the first half, I thought we were the better team for practically the entire game. De Gea made a couple of really good saves in the match, but 9 minutes after the restart, you would find our leveller, though it was disallowed for offside. Shot saved by De Gea from Josh De Silva. Chance kept alive. Kulusevski with the Paolo Di Canio-esque scissor kick at the back stick finds the back of the net, but goal disallowed through the linesman's flag, and that was how the game would finish. Bruno Fernandes, my arch nemesis, does it once again. 1-0 the final score. The Red Devils getting 3 points there in North London, and already our second home loss of the season. Now granted, they've come against 2 of the bigger sides, Liverpool and Manchester United, but either way, not great to know. 2 games at home already this season, we've been on the losing end. I wanted to make the Emirates a bit of a fortress in our first year here in North London. Well, as things stand, our fortress has been breached on a couple of occasions already. Still following out the excessive bid there, and also we had our second game of today's episode. Watford, the Hornets, back in the Premier League, taking them on here at Vicarage Road. 21 minutes into the game, chance to take a very early lead, which would do so as well. Smith Rowe does get his first goal back in an Arsenal shirt since we signed him from West Brom in the summer transfer window. Missed a golden chance against the Red Devils. I was not going to miss that one after the Kieran Tierney cutback. 1-0 Gunners, and it's Smith Rowe, his first since returning. And just a few minutes later, a chance to make it 2. Smith Rowe once again the heart of things, finding Josh De Silva. Lovely 1-2 between the pair, and this is brilliant from Smith Rowe. He's already had a couple of backheel assists in 3 games. Another one here as he backheels into the path of Reiss Nelson, runs onto the ball, strikes it first time, and gets, I believe, goal number 4 already in the Premier League for our number 7. He really is looking like he's going to be worth every penny of that massive £95 million transfer fee we paid in the summer to Burnley. So 2-0 Gunners. Castella's made a great save right before the break. Obviously, it's a bit of an interesting one who we opt to play in goal for most of the season, Castells or Leno. Both the same age, both have relatively similar ability, only separated by 1 overall rating. At the moment I'm going with Castella's, and I'm not regretting it too much, but in the second half on the offensive end, well, this guy right now is definitely living up to the price tag. Reiss Nelson with another, makes it Watford 0, Arsenal 3, and there were 30 minutes to go. Charging forward once again, Josh De Silva leading the break, rolling it through to Reiss Nelson, a chance for the hat-trick, but instead plays it across to Smith Rowe for his second of the game. So both of those boys can bag braces. Smith Rowe at the double, Reiss with 2 as well. 4-0 Gunners, and in this game here, I mean, the youth stars, both of them, absolutely superb. Josh De Silva as well, whilst he didn't get a goal, was the heartbeat and the driving force through the team. You might notice for a couple of goals there, was constantly getting involved on the offensive end. But Smith Rowe and Nelson in those games, man, you know, I mentioned it in the last couple of episodes, we're not just rebuilding this Arsenal team, but we're re-signing former youth stars out of the academy. And all I'll say is this, whilst Nelson costs us almost £100 million, he's off to a red-hot start, one of the top scorers in the Premier League, and Smith Rowe as well. You know, we signed him from West Brom, we brought him back to the Emirates Stadium as a playmaker, I think he's gone up to 83 overall now, and he's only 23 as well. That deal we got him back for, again, was about 37.5 mil, around that, 40 million, around that mark. That could prove to be an absolute bargain, man. He looks absolutely sublime. He went to the baggies to apply his trade. We bought him back, and he looks like he's coming to his prime at the perfect time as well. So, third game of today's episode on the back of the big win there against the Hornets, taking on the Magpies, Newcastle United in the Carabao Cup third round. And whilst I have said I would want a good cup run this season with the Gunners, we would love to put a trophy in the cabinet come the end of the season. I'm going to be honest once again, the Carabao Cup, I'm not really fussed about it. So just like in the last round against Blackpool in round 2 at the Emirates, I threw out a completely weakened side, 11 changes made to the team on the back of the win in the Premier League. And my defence in this game was just absolutely shocking. I mean, seriously, it was just all over the place. We conceded 3 goals to the Magpies. I thought the game was done after Hernandez bagged their third, but deep into stoppage time, basically the final kick of the game, Kasper Dolberg, the Dane, makes it 3-3. Scored in the previous round against Blackpool, the game winner, and scores the goal with the final kick of the game to send it to a penalty shootout. And I was thinking, I mean, good, we still got a chance. But if you've been on my channel for longer than 5 minutes, me and penalty shootouts, we just don't get on. I am not good at penalties whatsoever, so I was thinking, right, I've still got the chance, but there's an even higher chance I'm going to embarrass myself. So penalty shootout against the Magpies, see who would make it through to the 4th round of the Carabao Cup. Both penalties were scored off the bat from both teams. Then Reece Nelson had his save by Gillespie before Hernandez sent Bernd Leno the wrong way. 2-1, Di Maria does get us back on level terms though. We still needed a save from Leno, and we just couldn't get one. Goes the right way there from Gomez, but can't keep it out. And after Gillespie denied Guendouzi after a shocking penalty, Newcastle had 3 chances to make it through. They spurned 1, they spurned 2, but if Joe Bryan would score here, the final kick of the shootout, then we would exit. They spurned their chance, both chances, and then Bryan was denied by Leno. I was thinking, oh my goodness, from absolutely nowhere, we got just as good as a chance we did at the start of the shootout. We come back from the brink to have a chance at going through. Kevin Campbell signs Gillespie to Rowan. I was thinking, oh my goodness, we're going to make it through. And then Jeff Hendrick says, hold on, Doxy boy. No, you're not. You're still absolutely rubbish. He scores, then Hector Bellerin hits the top of the crossbar. Back to normal service. But Longstaff was denied by Leno, and sudden death continued. Mancini would take the very next one, but after I missed 2 penalties in a row and Mark Gillespie guesses the right way to deny the Italian, that gave Kraft the chance to send the Magpies through after a very long penalty shootout. Leno needed to provide the heroics once again, and sadly he could not. Penalty straight down the middle, and the Magpies are through. Yes, I'm not good at penalties. I have said this enough times and I'll say it once again. I think it is a mixture of mental and technical. I go into every penalty I'm going to take, not just in the shootout, but even a penalty won in the course of a 90-minute or 120-minute game. I still feel as though I'm going to miss every single penalty I take. I don't know what it is. It's the pessimist. It's the defeatist in me. It's the negative Nelly I can be sometimes. Every time my guy places the ball down on the spot from 12 yards, I sit there and I think, I'm going to miss this. This is going to get saved or I'm going to put it off target. I just don't feel confident. So I think it's a mental thing, but I think it also is technical as well. What you'll notice sometimes is that whilst the power is normally fine, the range expands to such a big difference. And whilst I have mentioned before, I do believe it should be reduced a little bit, because unless your penalty taker has 70 plus for penalties, he's going to have a big range regardless of how much power you put on it. So I do think the range needs to be reduced by EA going forward, but it is true. I do kind of shake a little bit with my left thumb on the left stick. So yeah, it's something I need to work on, both technically but also mentally as well. I need to get confidence from 12 yards, again, whether it's online, whether it's offline, whether I'm feeling confident, whether I'm winning, whether I'm losing, whether it's a shootout or not. I just think I'm going to miss this penalty, and we did miss enough those penalties there to go out of the Carabao Cup. Not really fussed though. My main focus is the Premier League. Returning to Premier League matters on the weekend. Norwich here coming to take us on the Emirates Stadium. My goodness gracious me, Smith Rowe with the hat-trick. I told you, the Youth Academy stars are on fire. He and Reece Nelson off to red-hot starts, and what a goal that was as well. And you'll see in this game here against Norwich, Tell you what, guys, you know I mentioned before, it can be very difficult at times to score really nice team goals. But the third goal, and in particular this fourth goal, absolutely brilliant passing and movement. This is the sort of stuff you saw during the Wenger years on enough occasions. There are so many amazing team goals Arsenal scored. Jack Wilshere against Norwich, probably one of my favourites. Patrick Vieira's against, I can't remember who, but I'll leave a link to it in the description. Absolutely glorious. I want to say Manchester United, funny enough, but wonderful team goal there. I want to see score some great team goals with the Gunners and implement that wonderful passing and moving football that the Gunners have had for so many years. We certainly did on a few occasions on that game there. 4-0 the final score. Smith Rowe with the hat-trick. 5 goals for him. He's on fire. And what a start for the Gunners. Whilst he might sit in 5th place, 5 wins in our first 7 games and 18 goals getting scored in our first 7. We are looking like the most lethal attack in the Premier League right now. And the Gunners fans are enjoying the football to go along with it as well. But that will end today's episode of the Realistic CM, guys. We thank you for watching. Hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then please drop a like. Myself to you all, have a fantastic day. And I'll see you for the next episode of the Realistic Career Mode featuring the champions, where the Etihad, very soon.